right. Hey, welcome back. All right, guys. So this is going to be a today's topic video. It is going to be for the 1st of April. And so it's April Fool's Day, but it's also Mercury retrograde starts. So let's just take a look and see, with all that in mind, let's see what we have. All right. Instead of thinking about retrograde and what's coming back around and what problems can arise, this says just be in the present moment for our character. So it could, okay, here's the thing. Be in the present moment, yes, but we're seeing a succulent. Succulents are known for holding a lot of water in their little chubby leaves. So it kind of says it's not that things maybe are coming back, around from the past, but rather a character may sit and contemplate their experiences, the experiences they've already had, the things that are already a part of their life story, the things that are already within them, the things that, just contemplating, like, if each one of these leaves on the succulent was like a year in their life, this could be a character sits down, and it might be a really great time to sit down and write down what are the best lessons I have gained from each significant thing that has happened in my life in the last 10 years. What are 10 major amazing things that have happened? What value did I gain out of the years of my life so far? Then we got the devil. All right. Hey guys, happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter. Thanks for being here. The fact that we have the devil, though, we have a character contemplating the good, the bad, and the ugly, possibly on the 1st. Now, I will mention, I look at retrograde differently because I look at it just as the movement of Mercury. Mercury moves faster than Earth does, so it laps us. It never goes in the reverse. It simply is going around us at a greater pace, and so it looks from Earth's perspective like at some point it's going in the reverse. Just the way if you look at a clock, the hands on a clock go round and round. They never go in the reverse, but every time they pass by, say 12, at some point it's going to look like it's going in the reverse when it isn't. It also denotes passage of time. And so we're a little older, we're a little wiser when this point on our clock comes back around to us. So I always look at it as a chance to evaluate things differently because we're older and we're wiser now. Okay, a character is evaluating either lies that they told or lies that were told to them. How did those things, maybe they're sifting through truth from fiction. Now for some strange reason, I'm feeling like this could be the story of a character who's having to sit in their karma a little bit. This might be the story of somebody that was very toxic, and it's they who are going to be hit by the biggest retrospect, not whomever they lied to, but rather the lies that they told, the behavior that they displayed, which I haven't had something like this come up in like a Mercury retrograde story where it's not about like the person who's reflecting on their, like all the people who did me wrong, but rather it's the individual who maybe has behaved in a very toxic manner and they're coming face to face with their past actions. This is going to be an interesting story, I think. Lynn, happy Easter, Angel. Thank you so much. Thank you, sweetheart. You were always so generous. Thank you once again for that beautiful donation. Okay, so we have the story of somebody that done wrong at some point, which we could argue everybody's done wrong at some point, right? Nobody is without something that they feel ashamed for. But it's interesting that at the beginning of Mercury retrograde, memories are flooding this person and they're sitting, and maybe they're different today, or maybe they're realizing, my God, look at what I've done. Look at where I'm at in my life. I am in a very toxic condition. I have told a bunch of lies. And now I am a freaking liar. And this is where I sit. And what does my future look like? Jesus, my future looks like I'm going to stay. Look, the energy of the devil is always stuck energy, 100% always stuck. And the reason I say it that way is because the devil energy is fears, it's, bad behavior, it's toxicity. Anything, if we start to tell lies, we get trapped in those lies because at some point it's going to become the net that we are contained in, right? If we tell 3 people a lie about what our name is, then guess what? We can't really go with someone who does know us and walk into that same grocery store where we faked our name because it's someone else is going to be like, what do you mean? Your name's Bob. No. Why are they calling you Bob? I introduce myself to them as Bob. Why? Why do you have a different persona? You know, lies, and there are reasons that people lie. And I think it's fair if somebody needs to, you know, witness protection program, you lie your ass off. That's for your protection. If you need to tell a lie for your own protection, that is not a toxic lie, in my opinion. But that's not what we're talking about. This is somebody who lied because it allowed them to move in the shadows, from what I can see. Okay. Because they're now stuck in the falsehoods that they told, and it's impacting their future. So it's funny how we have the present moment with the reflection of the toxicity and the reflection of what does my future look like right now. They don't have a way to sail forward because of this. So let's talk about that. This could be a bumpy one. This person is sitting in their karma. Their karmic juice is pretty foul. That sounds gross. We got the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so their time has run out also. I don't know. We're going to try to dig in and see what were the lies that this character might have told that got them into this. Because it says the lies are no longer sustainable. They've, you know, it's like the fun has run out and they recognize that. They're like, God, I don't even like all the lies I told and where it got me. I don't like where it got me. And there's no more that I can, you know, like get out of this situation. But now I kind of sewed myself into like a little tiny section of life. And I don't know how I'm going to retract the statements that I made or retract the behavior and then move forward on a different timeline, a different path. Okay. I know this is kind of an unpleasant message, especially to, you know, today is Easter, but I don't get to pick the cards. So forgive me that it's not the greatest of stories. I think it's a really interesting one though. I'm intrigued to know what on earth happened. So we have 6 of coins. We have the Magician. Here's the thing. This character simply decided to give to a situation. The Magician can represent manifestation. It can also represent a trickster, because this Magician card is associated with the goddess Hecate, and the goddess Hecate in Greek mythology is associated with the occult. Now, the word occult simply means hidden. It's secrecy. It's she is normally considered the guardian of the threshold, the crossroads. I should stick to the word threshold. She kind of holds a torch and lights the way to the underworld. So she can be a positive influence, making something less scary. But on the other hand, she also is a ferocious guardian of thresholds. So this is somebody who guarded information, maybe truthful information, because we saw them as a liar. They decided to give to a situation for a motive that they did not display their true motive. I don't know, what was it that they wanted to get? What was it that this character wanted to get? King of Coins. So they wanted to get stability. They wanted to get money. They wanted to get a certain title, a certain it was definitely, they lied to try to get stability. What does that mean? We have got 2 of Swords in the reverse, 4 of Coins. Okay, so I'm going to say it this way. What I think is that somebody they presented themselves in a false manner, and they know that they did this. If they tried to lie to themselves and pretend that they didn't do it for this reason, that's not true. Maybe this character was fearful. Maybe they wanted to have somebody see them as a person who had a lot to give, when in fact it was them who needed someone to see them that way, because it boosted their morale, or even because it boosted their they ended up benefiting from this. Like, okay, let me give an example that it comes to mind. Let's say this is somebody who said, I have this business plan, but I can't bankroll it. So I'm going to go to somebody who I know has a lot of money, and I'm going to tell them how great my plan is, how much their return will be. You definitely should invest in me. Maybe I also turn on a huge amount of charm, because he's pretty fine. He's pretty hot. Maybe I put on a huge amount of like an air of confidence, and I do all this. knowing that it's because if somebody bankrolls me, now I can have my name on this business, then I'm going to feel really powerful. I'm going to feel really good. But in truth, I may not have the confidence in the thing that I'm trying to do. I may not even in reality have the ability to make it fly. And I know that all along, but I don't want to risk my money. That's why I want an investor to do it instead. So I get to hold on to my cash, not put my money on the line. And deep down, they know that they did this. That's the reason it's toxic. If this person had in good faith said, I have something I really believe in, I'm putting everything I got into it, but I need an investor to match me, could we do this? Would you be interested? And then they burn the midnight oil to put everything they had into it. I wouldn't call it toxic, right? Business plans fail. Things don't work out, but that's not sometimes because of any lack of devotion or, genuine intent to make it successful. But this character, because of these two cards, it says, they didn't put themselves on the line. They didn't risk anything. They got somebody else to lay down the risk. And they might have used some deceptive methods to do it. Rosie, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. You are so generous, Rosie. Thank you for all your wonderful energy, too. You guys, good to see you. Okay, so let's see. So they knew that they did this. Masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. It's somebody who, see, 8 of coins. I'm going to say that what they are realizing about themselves is they work hard at deception. They work hard to not lose their own. My dog does not like this. They should not do that. They worked hard to go ahead and get people to invest in their, I'll say, scheme, instead of working hard in what they said they were bringing to the table. So they had a motive. And at this point, either they are going to have to risk revealing that. Like, let's say they didn't really put their money on the line. They let an investor do it. Now, if they're saying, oh, the business is going to go under, but it doesn't have to because they actually have money they could put in to float it, the investor would find out, wait a minute, you never put your money in? You mean it was all mine? Especially say this was linked with a romantic entanglement. I'm just suggesting we could have, this person put a lot of effort into putting on the shine to get something. And it may very well have been about money because we have a King of Pentacles and then we have the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. The bottom line is somebody's done with this. So we have 4 of Wands. I'm definitely going to say that there could have been a romantic entanglement because I feel like they sold a dream to somebody hook, line, and sinker. Because we've got a feminine over here looking like she thinks this was supposed to be her 4 of Wands, her perfect relationship. We're business partners. We're lovers. We're going to get married. This is not an actual marriage. This is not the Hierophant card. This is a connection of like the, like hand fasting or something that can be almost recognized as marriage, like common law, or, it's a marriage of the spiritual self, but not necessarily in legal terms. She seems to be under a different impression. They may now be faced with the fact that I did something for my benefit. I told somebody we're going to make it work. We're going to have it all, baby. And now again, she seems to be in love with them because I look at that 4 of Wands usually as more than a business partnership. But this could have been purely business, but I'm leaning toward it being something more than that. So we have a character who sold somebody a dream because they wanted the stability for themselves, but they didn't actually put in their effort. And now they want to cut bait. We got Ace of Swords. Now they want to cut free of this. And we can even see, look at the shadowy hands grasping. It could also be that they're thinking, if I try to cut bait, man, all these thoughts are going to be stirred up like, wait a minute. What do you mean you want to leave? You promised me all this stuff. I thought we were a 4 of Wands. I thought we were building a legacy. What do you mean? There all these, I think that their true nature could be really revealed if they withdraw. Now, again, this could all be about money. This could all be about investment, business investment, whatever this was, though. And it could be at a very, very small scale. Remember, these are fictional stories about fictional characters. We're just simply seeing what happens, like I say, during Mercury retrograde, where someone is maybe older and wiser, and they are reflecting on their own behavior. And what they're seeing is Who am I? Where am I? And how did I get here? And we're seeing it from a perspective of somebody who is realizing, damn it, what have I done? I've been a liar. I've been trapped in a toxic, behavior of telling lies. And I don't even want to be this person anymore. But look at where I'm at. And now how do I unravel this ball of lies? Have I hurt somebody else? Have my lies impacted someone? They've certainly impacted me, because it doesn't feel good to sit there and recount the ways that, a character has been deceptive. And this is one person reflecting on their own behavior. So let me just ask this. Why is it that their karma is kind of coming to the surface of their own mind? Because this is not about even who they've done wrong. It's about them facing their own actions and really reflecting. We have a 9 of Cups in the reverse. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Why is it happening now? Because guess what? This is Year of the Dragon, and we have the dragon here. But this 9 of Cups in the reverse says, I don't even have my wish fulfillment. Maybe they had a timeline in mind where they were, I'm going to do this business deal and then, sign a contract with somebody. Then maybe this year that contract is going to be over. Maybe they did think that even though they were hoodwinking somebody in the beginning, by the time, whatever, 7 years passed, they would maybe have turned a profit, and then no one would know that they hoodwinked them in the first place. That didn't happen. This is like that. It's time to pay the piper. The Wheel of Fortune has turned. Something has shifted. This behavior is not a good time for them. They haven't gotten anything that they wanted out of it. And no wonder I would just say, even though this is upright, which would normally mean something positive, sometimes it is positive to be faced with the reality of what we've done and where it got us. Especially, who wants to keep doing this, right? They're not even happy with these behaviors and what it has yielded. So it is a good thing, even if they're sitting there in guilt, remorse, disgust with their own actions. That's a good thing. The reason we have a conscience is because it tells us when we need to knock that shit off and grow up and act in a more honorable fashion. If we never felt guilt for anything, what would be our guiding compass? This person has made their own unhappiness because of their own behavior, and they're being faced with it because they're not happy with what they ended up with. And there is a change happening inside of them. So this person, I'm not crying for this character. I think it's a good thing, though, that they have finally sat down and looked at themselves and said, I've done this, this, and this. I don't like who I've become, and I certainly don't like what it's yielded, and I don't know how to get a better life, because look at the web of lies I've woven, and I'm not even happy. So they're having an awakening, which is, like a terrific storyline actually for a Mercury retrograde. If something's coming back around, it's the reality of actions and the reactions that they cause. I have a feeling this person behaved this way for quite a while, though. So this could be a delayed awakening. Sometimes people don't feel that bad until stuff catches up to them. I don't know, though. We have the Strength card. Actually, I think that something has been weighing heavier and heavier on them for quite a while. Like, to continue living the way they have has required more and more strength from them, more and more. Like, they put all their energy into simply trying to, continue. It's like, I'm picturing somebody who's been lost in, like, they went into a cave, and the cave had lots and lots of different corridors, lots and lots of different ways that they could, go down this a tunnel and that tunnel, and they got all turned around in the dark. And if they try to fix something and backtrack, all of a sudden there's another layer of confusion or another torch that burned out, and now they have to work doubly hard to try to either figure out how to solve this. It's like the weight of mistakes has become so heavy that it's actually, look at all this berry bramble that's wrapped around them. This is a very uncomfortable thing that they're in, but that is what has started to make this person say, what am I doing? I have to make a change. And they've actually, instead of being just like, oh man, I messed up, they're not doing hangdog to their credit. They're actually finding some kind of inner light, inner strength to say, I've been crap. I've been a crappy person lately. I've done a bunch of stuff that's not the way I should have behaved. Why the hell did I do this? That's a lot of growth, I would say, for them to sit and have to feel that and acknowledge it and be strong enough to look in the mirror. That's huge. So somebody's looking in the mirror and they don't like what they see, but at least they're looking, right? So what action might this character take? And let's go over to another deck that I call my universe deck. Hi, everyone. We have the Magician. We have the 10 of Cups. Okay. So the universe gives them a very positive, instead of like the universe, shame, shame, shame. The universe is like, all right, character, what do you do when you've hit rock bottom, when you see the mistakes you've made, when you don't like what you've done? What do you do? Instead of saying, let me drive myself down even lower, punish myself, feel more and more like crap. Instead, the universe says, it is time to course correct. Do you wallow in the mistakes you made, or do you start trying to manifest better? The guiding light, the guiding principle for this character should be, okay, you went down this road, you behaved a certain way for whatever reasons, right? Maybe it was greed, maybe it was fear, maybe it was not knowing better, maybe it was not being awakened. Whatever it is, you know better now. You don't like what you've done. You don't like where you are. You've got to make changes. So how do you make a change? How do you get out of a cave? Well, you look for wherever that sliver of light is, and you start moving toward that. No matter what, you just keep moving toward light. I really like this. This is it's a very hopeful story for somebody who's made a lot of mistakes. And I think that's so beautiful. It's like, it's not too late to course correct. It's not too late to say, I don't like what I've done. Can there be redemption? Of course, but you have to use the positive energy as your guiding light. 10 of Sacred Circles and the Fool card in the reverse. The universe is encouraging this person, don't do anything sudden, or don't do anything foolhardy. Rather, if they have people that they genuinely care about, they need to start investing and giving back to people that they care about. If this person has been me, they need to turn that around and start trying to give instead. They need to start building relationships instead of saying, oh my God, I'm so ashamed. I've been such a cretin. I'm just going to run and hide from everybody. The universe says, no, rebuild. If you need to ask forgiveness and then show up and repair relationships with friends, family, lover, whatever it is, you go back and you restore that. You don't expect it to happen fast, though. You can't do it in one big swoop. Instead, this is slow and steady growth to regain trust, to show that you've really changed. The path to redemption probably has to take as long as the path of toxicity took to get there, right? It also says to this person, people are a lot more forgiving and a lot more understanding when they can see someone genuinely is trying to alter their ways. Because everybody makes mistakes, right? And forgiveness may not mean that this character is eventually like back in everybody's perfectly good graces, but certainly they can repair and restore things enough to where there's not going to be this terrible animosity. That's what it looks like. So this character is burdened with the reality of their own bad behavior, but they're also being given a very clear vision of, if you don't like who you are and what you've done because you're ashamed of it, make those changes. Go ahead and start following the path of something brighter. Start manifesting the kinds of things that you want in your life, which is, you have to be that person. You have to be trustworthy. You have to rebuild. You have to invest in people in an honest way, a wholehearted way. And you can't expect them to be instantly, oh, you're totally different now? Oh, sure. No problem. Just bounce back into my life. They cannot have expectations of that. They can't try to move too fast into this, but they can reverse their own karma, which is very positive. It's just funny. They said, I don't know what my future looks like. And the universe is like, well, that's because you haven't envisioned a better timeline for yourself, because you're right now stuck in the reflection of the negatives. But if you want to fix things, you absolutely can. And that will become your future. But your future is not written because you haven't taken those steps yet. So start taking those steps. So let me ask this character, are you going to do that? Because this is such a powerful message for a character that's made a lot of mistakes in life. And it is not too late for them to change their dynamic, change their behavior. We have Queen of Cups. We have Knight of Pentacles. We have the Chariot. I said, what are they actually going to do? It is a slow progress for sure. If there is somebody that they really need to apologize to, offer love to, try to say, I know you probably don't believe me, but if you give me time, I can show you that I'm different now. That's the journey forward for them. Consistency and determination to actually, and it may be that in the eyes of one very particular person, that might be the person that they most want to believe in them again. I don't want to harp on what mistakes they made, only because it could have been a lot of things. It could have been, it looked like they said they were investing, but then they held back something. They said they were going to invest. They wanted to be seen as somebody strong, but then they held back. And it was a big, they said they were going to invest a lot. There was going to be a Four of Wands. But then they said no, I don't want to do this anymore. That situation, I do have to ask, what is that situation? Because we kind of left that loose thread of the story, and maybe I misinterpreted that. Hanged Man. What does that mean? There's some delay. There's some different way to look at something. We have 10 of Swords. We have 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Empress sideways. In this storyline, it is looking like either this character, they either said that they were headed for marriage, which in fact they're not with this particular person, and they need to close out a cycle, or they simply had made so many other mistakes that they cannot possibly marry this person when they have so many other things that they haven't straightened out yet. Their own finances, other errors. We don't know exactly how deep the mistakes went that this person made, but there's definitely delays here that have to come with an ending before something could be rebuilt. Now, either they were entirely devoting themselves to the wrong romantic connection or the wrong business connection, and that those ties have to be severed completely, and they know this. Maybe this was actually, even though we saw it as a Four of Wands, I don't know, maybe there was something toxic to that. Maybe they were playing a game with someone who was just as toxic as they were. Let me just ask, tell me about that Four of Wands. 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. It's a very weird, very complicated message on this one, because I would say they weren't truthful with someone who expected truth. I don't think that this other character they dealt with was toxic. I think that they claimed they were ready to give something that they weren't. They played along some game. They strung it along. And at this point, because we see the moon here also, there was the illusion of giving to this. I can't help but say, I think they said they were going to give to somebody, that they were investing with someone. And in truth, they did it for a reason other than like genuine desire to be in a Four of Wands connection. This could have been a false, feels more like a business partnership, but there could have been a pretense of a romantic entanglement as well. That has to come to a close. What's this Queen of Swords going to say? She's in the upright, so she looks really solid. Queen of Swords is hard to put something past, hard to lie to, because she's pretty astute. So I have a hard time believing that she probably isn't aware of any of this. Let me see. Empress, Death card, Four of Pentacles. I think she's ready to see them go too. I think the fun has run out for both of them. I think she's like, yeah, actually, maybe this is the other reason this is coming to a head. There's a lot of change happening. Maybe this Mercury retrograde is a story of a Queen of Swords who is also sitting there contemplating, saying, you know what, I'm dealing with a person that I don't picture me with them long term, even if I've been in some Four of Wands relationship, we've had a business together or whatever it is. But honestly, I can go solo, single, and fly a lot higher without them. I'm ready to end this too. And I really don't want any more entanglements with them. I kind of think this is a time frame where there's a mutual um, departing of a situation. I don't think this Queen of Swords is brokenhearted. In fact, I think this is a culmination of like what's kind of supposed to happen. We don't see anything that says she was toxic. In this, it says they were toxic, but at the same time, she may have made like a calculating decision to say, yeah, well, we could be good business partners. We'll go ahead and whatever, stay legally married or something. When now she's like, we're done with the business aspect. I'm done with it. I really want to go on. I'll keep the business in my name because it's mostly mine anyway, and we can cut ties. They can go. I kind of think she's going to turn out just fine. I mean, with her as an upright empress, if there is a business relationship that was under the guise of like a relationship, I don't feel like there's love lost here. So she's reflecting also, and she is definitely happy to withdraw. I feel like she's making out like a bandit as far as like she's the one with a very nice home here, and she's the one who is putting up the boundaries with, the little gate with the locks on it, and she's doing really well. I kind of think she's going to be better off, certainly without this toxic attachment. So even if they tried to manipulate somebody, look, you can't really manipulate a Queen of Swords because they know what they're getting into. So I'm going to say that she maybe knew what the game was right from the start and said, yeah, but this behooves me to go ahead and get into business with them. We could be great business partners. So it wasn't a love match. I wondered about that because it's the only thing that made me say, was there a romance? It doesn't look like it. We didn't have cups, right? Even with them, we had King of Pentacles. Let's do business. We had Queen of Swords, clinical decision making. Four of Wands can represent business or marriage, but it was never the marriage. I already said that. But it feels like this is such the right time for characters to part ways. So that means whomever it is that they really want to connect to or communicate with is somebody totally different. A Queen of Cups, not a Queen of Swords. I don't know if this is a romantic interest that they would like to perhaps win back in their life, or if this is simply to build better connections that are here. We finally have emotions. We have not had emotional bonds in this yet. Now the universe says, if you want to fix things in your life, go toward emotional satisfaction, go toward relationships that will make you happy. And it seems like they already know who this is, but it might not be. It might just be it's a journey for them to finally not look at relationships as like business contracts, but instead look at it as, I want to be emotionally fulfilled. That's going to govern my choices from here on out. I really think that the big message here is someone's toxicity came from the fact that they kept choosing or making choices in their life not based off of, does this emotionally satisfy me? Is this the kind of connection that I would really want to spend my days and nights in, building with this particular character? It was more like, ooh, wow, this could be a financial bump. Oh, that could bring me all kinds of success, and what's the route where I would stand to invest the least but benefit the most? If that's where their thought process was for a long time, that's what was so toxic about it. It's what got them into places where they weren't even happy, because in truth, they had never made decisions based off of happiness. Let me use a different analogy for that. If we are saying, I want to make healthy food choices, right? My health and wellness is at stake, so I need to make healthier food choices. Okay, we'll use me. I've had, obviously you can hear that I've been sick for a bit. And, when I'm under the weather, it always hits me in my lungs because I have some lung damage and asthma as a result of it. It's just one of those things I got to deal with. But what it means is anytime that I start to go down with something, holy smokes, I have like a whole regimen of things that I have to do differently. Like pretty much have to cut out all coffee. I, drink tons of fluid, but I'm primarily drinking lots of, different teas and things that I it's way more than usual. Lots more fluids. I take better care of myself. Even the food choices I'll make are different, because I want to like support my body while I'm, working on getting well again. And it just is one of those things where if you ignore and don't like nourish yourself and make better choices, maybe you're not giving yourself the right kind of support. And I think that's the way to describe this character. They are going to start making better choices based off of, hey, do I want to live a happier life, a well, healthy, enjoyable life? Then I probably need to make choices based off of that mentality. So that's what I will go ahead and leave this one as. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Lots of love to you guys. Oh my God, this got so long. I did not even know that. Take care, everyone. Thank you again. Happy Easter. I'll be doing some other zodiacs still today. Rosie and Lynn, thank you again so much for your generosity. All right, you guys, take care. Hey, Nina, happy Easter. We kind of do just a little mini celebration for Easter. I'm going to try to stay away from everyone today as much as possible, just because I'm just getting over my thing that I've had going on in my chest, and I don't want to give it to anybody else. So I'm kind of keeping my distance from, I'm like, don't anybody come near me. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.